on uh, to do some spaces on Twitter
Oh,
rather than all this live on Abstract. It's like so fucking annoying, you know.
well,
But like,
it's a
it's okay.
couple. The challenge with it is that you got to get your third party streaming going, right? And then you also have to
Yeah,
um, set it up on Abstract too, right? Because with any streaming platform, you have to do that. But the third party platforms don't have, you have to do it separately. There's not like a quick option, right? So you got to throw in your stream key, and the stream key changes each time, right? So you just
yeah.
got to make it work that way. All right, let me see if we're live yet. Yes, right. Can
That's
you
what I was. Yes, we are live.
you should be able to pop in there and pull us up. Awesome. All right, so we're live. Awesome, perfect. Here we go. Welcome everybody to our weekly edition of Spredict Live. We'll be talking a little bit about UFC 312. We'll also hear from some amazing projects and people in the space. My name is Fred Endy. I am one of the three founders of Spredict. And if you don't know about us yet, we are an evolved PredictFi platform with the goal to really flip the way we think about engaging in predictive gaming on its head. And we do that in three different ways. One way is that we are not like a casino or a betting project. Instead, we're a subscription service. We aim to be basically the Netflix of predictive gaming, right? And so you can subscribe to our games across the sports we run for a variety of periods of time, monthly, seasonally, right? But think of us as your subscription to predictive gaming experiences. Our games are also different, and we'll show you a little bit about our first UFC game shortly. But our goal is to give players the opportunity to move beyond just pick the winner, right? We want our players to engage in predictive gaming through a more strategic way, right? That builds greater collaboration and connections. And then the third thing we do is we create customized predictive gaming pools for projects, for lounges, right? So if you are a project with like a number of community members who love MMA, right? Super into UFC, really looking forward to Duplessis and Strickland tonight, for instance. You can work with us. We can build out your own prediction pools for you and your project separately, right? We're kind of like a white glove service for predictive gaming. And so you mesh all that together, right? You mix it around and you end up with Spredict. And so our DApp is now live on Abstract, which is fucking amazing. And our token will be launching right around the time of the start of the F1 season. So more to come there. But very excited. We are here with some amazing people in the space. We're going to do a quick kind of walk around, let them introduce themselves, talk about what they're working on, and then we'll dive into three of the bouts, or rather four of the bouts from UFC 312. And this is recorded, so we'll mark live who we're picking. And then when I win and beat everybody on the call, I can brag about it while everyone else cries and is sad. So, but hey, it's the way it goes. So
Fred, be aware the last guy that said that
I know
was exposed to the eyes of everyone.
I just fucked myself, right? That's it. It's over. I'm gonna get zero correct. But why don't we we've got Ganja here. Why don't we turn it over to you, my friend, to talk a little bit about who you are and what you're doing for WolfSwap.
All right. You know what? My name is Digon Jababa. I'll start first with WolfSwap. So WolfSwap is an aggregated DEX, and we are multi-chain. We are on Abstract. We're on Polygon, Chronos, Sonic, Say, Avalanche. The list goes on and on. We are on a lot of chains. And we're an aggregated DEX. It's not a new thing. There are other aggregated DEX out there. So why use WolfSwap? Well, because we reward you for using WolfSwap. We gamify everything on WolfSwap. So we have, you can get points, move up the leaderboard. The more swaps you do, we do seasons. Our seasons also go by the moon because we are Wolf Swap, and our token is called Moon Token. So every full moon is a new season, and every season you can climb up the leaderboard and get a share of the pot for that season. Also, with every $10 swap or more, so a swap of value $10 USD or more, you get a chance at winning a mystery box. A mystery box could have tokens. It could have NFTs. Right now, it has at least one FT that's valued at about 1,800 USD right now. It's a loaded line. If you guys know crypto.com, that is their premier NFT. And there are tons of perks that come with holding a loaded lion if you are a user of the crypto.com app. So definite huge win if you do happen to win that in the mystery box. We also offer other products like Amplify, which helps to gamify people using social media. So you can use our tool, our Amplify tool, in order to reward your holders or people who are talking about your project on social media. We also have Wall Street, which is a token launcher. You can launch your token on Chronos and on Abstract right now. And all it takes for Abstract is 0.1 ETH to start your token. And when you get to 3 ETH volume, your token will graduate. Now, there are other token launch pads on Abstract, just like there's other aggregated dexes. But we don't leave you high and dry when you graduate. Your token is automatically whitelisted on WolfSwap through Uniswap. And we are offering you programs to incentivize your buyers. So they'll get like a 2x on the boost, or they might get more token if they're buying, something like that. We're rewarding buyers like that and projects that graduate in that sense. And there are definitely like a long list of other things. I don't want to take up too much of your time, which is why I'll briefly talk about myself. The reason one of our other team members, I'm not the founder of WolfSwap, by the way. I am just one of the faces that helps to spread the word. I represent the team in real life situations, as well as real life what am I saying? Like meetups and stuff like that. And like dude, I didn't even hit that many bongs today. Conferences, stuff like that. You know, I should, you know what? It's because I've been up since 7:30. And I'll tell you why in a second. And I didn't go to bed till late last night. But yeah, I'm just one of the faces, and the reason why I got chosen is because I am a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I also have
All right.
20 years of Muay Thai experience. I've been to Thailand to train. I've had, I don't know how many fights, but I've never fought MMA. I've competed extensively in Jiu-Jitsu, extensively in Muay Thai, but I've never had an MMA fight. You won't see the cauliflower ears unless I pull back the long hair, but yeah, it's there. I got my proof of showing. What is it in my POAP, my proof of
Yep.
appearance?
Yep.
Yeah, is my cauliflower ears. But yes, I am an actual IRL Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and that's why I had to get up early this morning, because I had to teach kids. Kids are on Saturday mornings, so I had a private, then I had to teach kids,
Right.
and then I actually taught my own brother after that. He brought his daughter to the kids class, and then I was teaching him, and then his wife did the women's class after that. So nice family affair there, and I really like that they're coming now. But that's why I got chosen, and that's a little bit about WolfSwap.
When was the last time you fought?
Before I tore the meniscus in one of my knees, I've now torn meniscus in both knees,
Oh shit.
and I've rehabbed them back. So this is why I'm going to be rooting for Tatiana Suarez when we talk about this later on, because she's had serious knee injuries, right? But yeah, I've rehabbed my knees back, but I just don't want to fight. I don't have the desire to. It's not that I don't have the desire to fight. I have the itch to fight. I don't have the desire to get hurt, because in my real life job, I can say this, I work for Major League Baseball,
Nice.
and I need to be on my feet from March to November,
Yeah.
walking like a lot. I'd like do laps around the stadiums when I'm there, on the field, in the clubhouse, in the dugouts. I'm everywhere. So I need my knees.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'd rather keep my dream job over fighting again. You know, because I've been a baseball fan since I was 5 years old, and this is a dream job for me. I'm a huge sports fan in general. Obviously, gonna watch Super Bowl. I grew up playing baseball and basketball. Also been like competing. I wouldn't say competing. Um, let's say underground, doing like race stuff and that kind of stuff since I
Nice.
was younger, but mainly through my brother, my older brother, the engineer. He's the one that does more of the racing, but a huge race fan growing up because of my dad and because of my brother.
Nice.
So when you're ready for F1, I'm here for that too.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Holy cow. We've got like a
Awesome.
sports stud in MLB. Man, I want to talk more with you about that.
for sure, bro.
So who's your pick for the Super Bowl? What do you predict for tomorrow?
Oh, dude. Okay, so here's the thing. We're in crypto too, right?
Of
You
course.
guys need to look something up. Every time the Eagles have won, we've gone into a recession after.
Oh. Oh. Uh-oh.
I love Saquon Barkley. I love Barkley, but I cannot root for the Eagles after learning that. I'm sorry. So
Yeah.
my heart, wants one thing, but my pick for tomorrow is the Chiefs.
All right. Rock on. Anja, awesome to have you here. Thank you for giving your time. Love to hear what Wolf Swap is working on, and so cool to learn about like who you are and what like has made you who you are. So that's awesome. Thank you for that.
Thanks for having me, guys. Thanks
You
for having me.
got
Yeah.
it. All right, Doug, we'll turn it over to you. Give us a sense of like what you're working on in the space. I know when we were getting started and checking mic and video, you talked about like, so I just want to share with everybody who's listening. Doug is possibly one of the best AMA hosts I have ever come across, right? And I've done a fair number of AMAs, and most times, and I say this not because I'm anything special, right? I'm a normal person, but most times I tend to be disappointed with how hosts run the AMAs because a lot of times they haven't done a lot of research on their part, right? They kind of assume that it's my job to share everything, right? Which is fine. But Doug is a master project researcher. So I thank you for that, Doug. It was awesome to spend some time with you and Ryui. But why don't you share a little bit of like what you're working on and tell us a little bit about Ryui and some of the other work that you've done in the space.
Thanks for the intro and appreciate the kind words. Yeah, I try to do my due diligence. If we're gonna have someone on our stage and be talking about their project, it bodes well if I know what I'm talking about or at least have looked into it and taken some notes. And it helps when you've got a team like Spredict who has extensive documentation and websites and history about their time in the space and what they built upon. So it was a pleasure kind of digging through your guys' project and learning more about it, and then also even more so having you on stage with us to talk about it when you have a guest who's so well knowledge in what they're speaking on in their own kind of project, it really just bodes well for the whole kind of AMA experience. So it's truly been fun. As myself, I've been in crypto since about 2020, 2021, and I, got in it. I was out of work due to the COVID and stuff like that. I was just like, all right, I've got like an extra 4 grand left in my wallet. Let me see what I can do in this crypto stuff that everyone's talking about. So I put that 4 grand in at the end of 2020, and I've never had to put more money back into it. So in that regards, I've been doing
No,
well,
you're
and
a
I've been living
millionaire.
off of it. No, I would not that, but I have a minimal lifestyle, and I'm able to support myself through my ventures in the space. So it's been great. And with that, I just jumped into Telegram on BSC side. That was kind of popping in 2020, 21, and I was really like, what could be my first token to get into? And the first coin I actually got into was called like Football Stars, and it was all about soccer and stuff like this. So I was like, screw it, let's put 3/4 of that $4,000 into this Football Stars token. Wound up being a terrible investment. Lost most of it pretty much really quickly. But what I did find was that through my time being in Telegram and in that chat room space, I just got super addicted to it. I had all this free time, and the team had noticed me, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to come on as a moderator? Like, you're like super impressive in you're better than our moderators that we pay and that we have here." And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, like sure, like cool beans." And then within like a month of that, then I was community manager, and then I was on the back end of the team writing white papers for other things that they were trying to expand their football stars universe into and all these things. And I was like getting kind of just like sick of that team in general, just because they were treading water and the products they were idealizing weren't coming to fruition. So then I got scouted by a Launchpad team, and they were like, "Hey, like we've seen the work you've done there, and we think that we could better utilize you with our team here." So I segued over to them, and it's like mid 2021, and started doing community management work there as well as helping with product kind of creation and pitch deck management and all these types of things, and structuring their communities and going on spaces to talk about their products. And that was good and fun. And I did that for a while, and I enjoyed working for Launchpads, but they were getting a bit too grandiose in their ideas. They wanted to expand to every blockchain possible and be the premier launchpad everywhere. And it's like, if you're focusing on so many things, something else is gonna burn on the stove, and that's what wound up happening. So eventually, I wound up departing from their team, just because they were trying to utilize me everywhere. They wanted me to be a community manager for 6 different launchpads at that point, and I'm like, how can I can't do this. So I started taking jobs elsewhere and segued out from that, all kind of always kind of focalizing on the back end plus the community management infrastructure side. So that was always really fun, and I enjoyed that. But then come 2022, I was like, um, I've got a big enough bag to where I don't really need to be searching for projects to work from or taking all these opportunities that are coming my way. So I just kind of sat on that for a bit and started trading some, mainly still on token based things. And then I was doing that for a while, not really working anywhere. And then come 2023, I was like, all right, I know I missed all the NFT fun of 2021 because I was too busy doing tokens and working for projects. So let me try doing NFTs now. Hopped in on the summer of 2023 for NFTs, lost like half my net worth, maybe more than that. And I was like, oh no, like I do not know how to navigate NFT space like I did token space. But then eventually, after a couple more months of trying and keeping at it and not kind of giving up and changing things I focused on and the people I interacted with, I was able to find my legs and build back up my net worth a little bit, and then kind of have better experiences. And I truly found that because when I first got into NFTs, it was very degen focused. I wasn't looking for any quality projects. I was just trying to get in anything that was launching, see how I could flip it, all these different types of things. But I still had that holder mentality from some tokens, and it just wrecked me in a lot of different atmospheres. But then I got into the finer art side of NFTs, and that just truly that's where I met. Like I'm a collector in real life. I've got one shelf behind me with 2,000 comics sitting on it, and another shelf tucked away over there with a couple hundred thousand, not 100,000, a couple hundreds more comics. Yeah, and then
Huge Spider-Man comic collection, man. All like
hell yeah,
made
dude,
comics
that's
like,
amazing.
bagged and boarded. So, love it.
That's how you gotta keep them pristine. That's why I keep all mine in boxes, just because I'm like, I haven't even read 99.9% of the books that I collect, and I have a monthly subscription that just keeps feeding me more, and I'm like, this is an interesting addiction that I have. But I've jumped between collecting records, pins, comics, books, figurines, all these types of different things. So the whole kind of digital collecting aspect really spoke to me. And when I got into the fine art side of things, I just really enjoyed it more. Things had more tangible value and liquidity long term. So since December of 2023, that's kind of been my major focus. And met a lot of great people, built up my network really well. And then through those connections, one of the peoples that I wound up meeting was Voxel Queen, who is the founder with her husband, Yannick, founder of Ruyui. So when I kind of I'd been friends with her for some time in the space and following her work, she was big in the Nakamigos community, and I like the Nakamigos. They're a fun group of people.
From there. Okay.
Yeah. She was super. She actually was like making voxelized animated characters that could be playable in games for the Nakamigos community just for fun. And then the Nakamigos like team saw this and like awarded her with like a prize fund. I forget how much it was. It was like 20 ETH or something like that, or 10 ETH or something like that. Just because she was helping out so much in the space and contributing, and that was like the only time the Nakamigos team ever did something like that. So that was really great to see for her, and we were all super excited about that. And that kind of steamrolled into her first collection, which was Minis, which was just a small, collection of 999 unique voxelized characters that were playable in things like wow, I forget the name of the game. What was Nifty's game? It's called like Nifty.
Yeah.
Nifty Island.
Nifty Island, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So those were playable in Nifty Island, and they had a big partnership there. And there was a lot of kind of bigger plans in place, but then she, kind of had the brainchild for Ryui, which was previously under a former name when they first kind of had the idealization of it, and they got investors like from, if anyone knows Baharat, he's a big investor in the space. So he kind of saw the potential within VQ and started cultivating with them. So this is how form a pitch deck. This is how you curate an idea. This is how you build up a following, and all these types of things. And then eventually that kind of led into the creation of Ryui, which I had the pleasure of being a front seat patron for. So like because I had all this past experience with VQ, I was able to really. What's up, brother man?
How's it going? Sorry, give me 1 sec. I gotta close my window.
You're good.
No worries.
And then because of that, when Ryui finally came to market after being in production for over a year, they started in December of 2023, and come several months ago, as Abstract's kind of coming about, they really kind of focalized themselves on the open market terms of things, and pushing themselves towards people who would be interested in their project. So I was super excited about that and bullish on them, and I kind of just jumped feet first into the community there. And it was the same thing as like my origin story with crypto. I was just so active that they were like, "Dude, do you want to be a part of this?" And it was like, "Yeah, sure. Like I'm here for it. I love the idea." For those who don't know, Ryui is an animation studio that also does gamified experiences and focuses on the kind of those stylized adventures and ventures. And with being in production for over a year, they had finished the collection back in like the summertime of 2023, and just been kind of trying to find the right time in the market to really bring it to users, and then also gave them time to build out their Web 2 stylized game, as well as create more further animations and onboard more people, bring in more seed investors, and all these types of things. So we had our pre-sale rounds back in December, and we really came to excuse me, we finished our pre-sales in December, and then we kind of really opened the community to a broader audience. We've got about 40,000 users in our Discord now who are talking daily, showing up and showing support. So we have a really big outreach of users who are just kind of excited about what we're building and our upcoming launch on Abstract. And while I can't talk too much about that, we're planning to launch shortly after NFT Paris, so in the back half of this month. And we're just kind of really excited for people to see the realization of the collection and what it has long-term in store for its holders in terms of the gamified experiences and the animation studios, and kind of just building out this broader brand and IP that we think is going to bode well on a global scale and already is gaining a lot of traction. So don't want to take up too much more time. I feel like I already spieled myself like crazy, and I'm happy to be here today to talk more about the upcoming UFC event. I don't have the pedigree that Ganja has, and my hair is not hiding any cauliflower. Yeah. But no, I'm excited to talk sports. I enjoy them when I'm watching them. I'm normally too much into my black hole of crypto to really dive deep into everything. But when I do watch, I'm enjoying it, and especially a good UFC fight, and especially when Sean Strickland's on the card. So I'm excited for this weekend.
Love it, Doug. Love it. That's awesome. Such a cool story. We all have amazing crypto origin stories. I loved hearing a little bit about that. So welcome. Great to have you here, bro. So cool. Love Tradeify being represented. So what we've done is we've been sharing a little bit about kind of what we're working on and in our projects, right? And so now that you're settled, now that you're in, want to turn it over to you to talk a little bit about Tradeify, introduce yourself, talk about what you're working on, And then Matt, after we'll turn over to you to talk a little bit about TNFT and some of the work you also have prepped for Spredict and NFT Paris, right? Maybe you can talk a little bit about that too. So yeah, we'll turn over to you, bro.
All right, well, I appreciate it. Hopefully I'm coming across loud. Apparently my phone or my laptop wants to use my Mac or the microphone from my iPhone. For some reason, that's how it worded it or routed it through, so that's going to be what it is. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Sorry, I'm a few minutes late. I just messaged you guys behind. We had, so we're actually traveling through Mexico right now, and my wife is 4 months pregnant, and the cleaning lady wanted to come in today and do some cleaning in this place that we're in. So we had to let her through. So a little bit of a delay for that. But glad to be here. Glad to share Tradeify. As a project and a platform. It's more than just like something fun for me. This is a passion project, and I know it's the same for the founders of the team as well. I'm just a business dev here, but I'm representing pretty much the vision for what we're trying to build, which is a platform for people to find and discover their digital identities through their NFTs, allowing high-level customization to actually occur with NFTs that are static right now. So that means that if you have projects like Doodles, Azuki, they're all the standard single IP metric, and that's great, and that has a good status use case. But there are many projects out there that never reach that status level, and also don't offer enough for people to constantly stay interested in them, or to rock them, or use them, or even with those projects as well. There's a limited realm of like customization that can actually occur to make that IP feel like it belongs to you. And so Tradeify is here as a platform to help people make their PFPs relate to them on a more daily basis. So, I'm going to use my NFT, which is the reason why Fonzie brought me on board to work with him and the team. I've been on the back scenes working on a llama NFT, and I wanted to do a high level of customization to give people the ability to, choose their character that they rock with it. And I hit this wall, and this wall was always the same thing, and that is, as a new startup, trying to develop a trait marketplace where you have this high level of customization from a technical standpoint would require investing a lot of money into a business, into a dev to basically design it. And so, Froggy Friends had already done a trait marketplace, and they were secretly working on this project without even telling me. I had no idea. No one knew this was going on. And I am coming into their space, and I'm talking about all these like high level ideas that I want to implement into the llamas. And they're like, you know what? Why don't you just work with us? Like, we're already doing something. And I was like stoked. I was super stoked that offer is thrown my way, because, truly speaking, I'm relatively new to the dev side of Web3. I've been in the space since 2017. I helped, create the artwork for a coin, have that coin rise up using that art, and then simultaneously crash when the team wasn't able to, pull through with everything that they promised, which doesn't fall on the artist, thankfully, but it does happen. And so, my experience has been mostly from the graphic design side of stuff, the art side of stuff. So to have them come in and be like, you know what, you have a lot of really great ideas, you have experience as a sales rep, you know what you're doing, can you just do this as a biz dev? I was like, yeah, I got you. I can definitely do this. This is my passion. I want to help people do this. It's not even selling people the idea. It's just explaining it to them in a way that makes sense to them. And as a salesperson, there's no better job in your world that you can have than having a product that you don't even have to sell. It just sells itself, and projects and people come to it and want to gravitate towards it. So we have so much stuff going into this platform that hasn't been completely done as a full thing. So we have projects that have done trait marketplaces individually. They might have tried to bring other projects in to utilize their trait marketplace, but there's been nothing to the scale that we're talking about doing, where it actually feels like you're going to Shopify and actually getting a chance to buy traits from individual projects marketplaces that they have listed. Simultaneously, while we're doing that, we're developing gamified features in there so that it really feels like a user experience. So it feels like something that users are going to want to come to daily to update their PFPs to reflect their daily personas on a more regular basis. And with the gamification features being thrown in there, there's so many elements that are going to be rewarding to people who are holding our Founders Pass, for example. That like I wish I could divulge all of this because there's so much that we have coming. I will say this, and I can say this, keep your eyes out on our notifications for this coming week, because we are going to be dropping a lot of big things related into what we're doing here before we go into the mint on Thursday. So
Alpha alert.
yeah, alpha alert. So yeah, I mean, honestly, I couldn't be more happy to work on a project with something that I truly believe is the next stage in Web3 development and NFTs in general. You know, if you look at the NFT market since 2021, we had those highs, and then the excitement fizzled out because the reality is that no one was bringing anything to market that was like compelling enough for people to want to keep using their same PFPs on a regular basis, and people were constantly chasing the next thing, and they constantly go through this cycle. Whereas, you know, when you have something that you feel really strongly that you like, that you hold on to, and you can customize, it makes it more personalized. It also increases the value as well. And so one interesting concept that I always throw out there are a ton of projects that died. And why did they die? Mostly because the same thing happens amongst almost every project. There are traits that are considered undesirable by the vast majority of the community. They exist in there because, you know, it's the NFT space, and, you know, you don't want to remove something from that or go down that path of like removing something from there. You want to give someone the opportunity to wear that if they like it. But at the same time, you do have these traits that do end up on the floor. And what happens is inevitably that drops the floor price because no one picks up those NFTs, and they keep dropping the floor price inevitably. Even though the rest of the things around them are going up, it's those things are weighing down the project. So we're offering a different business proposition, which is that, hey, you know, we understand that the NFT market is struggling finding liquidity. We're going to help you actually create that liquidity for your project by allowing you to open this trait marketplace, start selling these traits to help modify your NFTs that you have already on there. And also simultaneously, you might actually see more people pick up these floor NFTs that they've never touched because they didn't have anything they could do with them or weren't proud to rock them or wear them or do anything. So it's a really interesting business proposition. And I will say that the amount of hype that we've got from both the community and the project founders themselves has motivated me to a whole new level. We have project leaders coming into us and telling us, hey, I have this idea. Do you think you could implement this into the system? And we're like, we already are building the tools that will allow you to do that. All we have to do is show you how to do them. So, you know, Fonzie, he's an amazing dev. And he has managed to dev so many things through the bear market. He builds regardless of the market. That's just who he is as a person. So, you know, it was an easy proposal for me to say yes to his proposal to come work for him, because it's like, yeah, how could you not work with a vision that's there, a product that's strong, a creator, a founders that are actually there and building constantly, regardless of the market conditions, and a community that is rearing and ready to go for a change. All of these things to me culminate into a perfect storm of what we have coming to Abstract. And, you know, the fifth and fourth, you know, the most important thing is Abstract as a platform and as a chain. You know, people are talking about its performance right now. We are in the start of it. We have barely anything on the platform yet for people to use. And once you start bringing platforms like Tradeify, which is going to allow NFT customization, not just on Abstract chain, but we're going to be working with NFT projects across all the chains. So if you're on ETH, if you're on Sol, if you're on XRP, I'm just going to throw that out there. Our plan, our vision for this entire project is to bring all the chains into this marketplace where everyone can come in, use, and power up their NFT projects with it. So
It's awesome. So cool.
that's pretty much all I got for you guys.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I love the fact that across everybody who's been speaking so far, there is so much innovation that's happening, right? And I think that is one of the things that felt missing to me over the last couple years, right? That what I felt like I was seeing was starting to feel tired a little bit, you know? So I appreciate all of you kind of working and pushing the envelope, and we're trying to do the same thing at Spredict as well. Matt, what's up, brother? Why don't you talk a little bit about what you've been doing with TNFT, and then maybe a little bit of like a NFT Paris kind of preview.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Fred. I'm kind of freezing out there because like I'm outside smoking my cigars and it's just like 3 degrees in France today now. So yeah, it's a bit freezing. But yeah, I'm always happy to be here speaking with everyone. CVTV. Thank you for being here again tonight with us. G, welcome. First time we speak, and Doug, yeah, we have spoken to on DMs. Kind of really fan of every project that you're representing tonight, guys. I'm very happy to connect with you. And for Doug, yeah, I already pre-minted my Rui. I still cannot do it. But like yeah, I cannot wait the one that I will have like as the mint will be done on for the project. So and yeah, from my side, TNFT is like I'm 3 years old in the Web3 space. I've my own community back in the days, and since a couple of months now, I've changed. I've decided to shift and to do as my person to use my the account of TNFT as my personal brand. And yes, now I'm just like vibing with Predict since back in May. We have worked together on the Euro 2024. So for the soccer, you know, in Europe. So now we have decided to shift on Abstract as soon as as soon as I knew about this chain and this project, and I said, hey guys, we need to shift on Abstract. You know, it's the consumer crypto. It's very easy to be onboarded in, and as we want to have a subscription model with newbie and like just fond of sports just coming up and to predict as we will do like in a seg with Fred. It just that yeah, it makes sense for us to shift on Abstract and to build on it. And like now, yeah, we will be present at NFT Paris with Max, the founder, David, who is the CM, and me. We will run the corridors of NFT Paris with a nice hoodie with a big QR code in our back. So you will be able to scan it and then predict on the next event that will occur just around after NFT Paris. So yeah, the we have some nice goodies for everyone that will make a photo with us after predicting. So we have some surprises too for NFT Paris, and yeah, for everyone who is coming there, we will have like try to maybe host a cigar night or just having some fun on in a bar or something like that. So yeah, very excited to be drunk with you, all of you guys in Paris. So, but yeah, no, Spredict is yeah, like as I've done like more than 20 years of football. Sariji, I've just practiced Muay Thai box for 2 years. I'm not a black belt of jiu-jitsu or or something, but like I know how to defend myself. So yeah, it's very nice to be here on a Saturday evening with every one of you, and let's just enjoy the night, guys. So thanks for hosting this one, and bye, babe. Thank you for my tisane. I don't know how to say that in English, but like I know I'm very very happy with that.
Oh, yes, you've got your warm
Yeah.
drink.
Yeah, she just bring it to me, so she just brought it to me. So yeah, she's really kind. So yeah, Fred, I let over to you, and let's enjoy the night.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, that's a sign of like a good partner, right? Like letting you kind of live stream outside, smoking a cigar, and bringing you a warm drink. So congrats, bro. And yeah, I mean, Matt has been doing fantastic work with our buddy David in terms of getting the word out. And I'm outside New York City, right? So I am not anywhere near Paris, but Matt, David, Max, and our smart contract dev Johan are all in France, and so we'll have
Oh
a nice
really? Is he
contingent.
come?
What's that?
He will come to NFT Paris?
Johan?
Jon will come to NFT
No,
Paris?
no, 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 no,
Oh, I
no.
thought.
I'm just saying, you're all in France, right? So, but yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think it would take a lot of work to get Johan to come to NFT Paris, but who knows? But yeah, we'll have a contingent there too, which will be fucking amazing, to be honest. And yeah, it's going to be a great next couple weeks and months as we get close to launch. So here we go. Hold
Yeah.
on. Because I can now I can now do this shit right as we stream.
You
So
gotta do
hold
it
on.
like Bruce Buffer style, bro.
Yeah,
Here
yeah. Hold on.
we
Here we go.
go.
I can't. I mean, I can try that. I won't sound like Bruce, like Buffer, but I can. Right. I can play the
All right,
bell.
all right,
Right. I can
all
get
right,
the
that's
bell
good.
going. Right.
Yeah.
So let's get ready to rumble. Right. Here we go. All right. So we're now going to move into the part of the conversation where all of you will make your picks. I'll make my pick, and then I'll be 100% correct, and I'll get to laugh as you're all wrong. So here we go. What I'm
Here
gonna
we
do,
go.
I just have to tell you, in both of these that I've done so far, I have been the worst. My results are horrible by comparison. So I just want to throw that out there because I fully expect that I'm going to sound like I have conviction, and then afterwards I'm going to be like hiding in the corner because I'm not going to want to face anybody based on what I selected. But I'm going to pull up our DAP. And so our DAP is live. And so anybody who's listening, right, and of course, all of you who are on the stream, you can make your picks live too. It's dap.spredict.io. I'm going to throw it into the stream chat as well. Right. And so you can head right there and you can log in. I'm going to share my screen. So let me do that. Right. So we can actually we can make these picks live. So let me do
I'm
that.
betting everything on Strickland. It's my favorite one. Like
Wow.
I love just
Everything?
like the fact that they throw a surprise party for him, and he just pulled the gun out like because he was so surprised. so,
So, so
so that's my G.
So Strickland, the funny thing about me for Strickland is every time I've watched him fight, he's got like the same face. He never looks like he is like angry or aggravated or frustrated. He seems like the calmest, most like together person ever, right? Like I see like it's like no emotion on this guy's face. So hold on. So all right, can you see the DAP? Is it showing for you?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. All right. So
Yeah.
what you'll do is you go to connect my wallet and kudos to our CEO Max and our smart contract dev Johan for getting the AGW connection all set, right? So you'll go to connect wallet, you'll see MetaMask, you'll see Phantom, you'll see Abstract. I'm going to connect my Abstract wallet, right? I'm going to approve that
Why?
connection,
Connect my wallet.
right? And so now, right, my wallet's connected. I am ready to go, right, and ready to make my picks. If you take a look at the design of our DAP, you'll see a couple things real quick. You'll see the four pick options for UFC 312, right? We picked four from the main card for this evening. And then I'm also going to point out something else. So I had talked just for a moment when we had started the stream that one of the things that we look to do at Spredict is create games that are a little bit different. And so you might look at this and say, okay, like, yeah, like I can pick Duplessis or Strickland. Like, yeah, I kind of get that. But what's a little bit different is you'll see, for instance, right, Duplessis has a star next to his name currently, right? And so our favorite feature is an element that we add to some of our games as a way to build some additional strategic thinking in play, right? And when our subscriptions go live and when our leaderboard is live, when you're participating in a game where the favorite feature is active, you'll have to also ask yourself, right? Like if I pick Duplessis, who I mean, I won't share who I'm going to pick until we do a wraparound, but if I were to pick him to win, I'd be going with the chalk, right? I'd be going and picking the favorite. But if I wanted to make a contrarian play and go with Strickland, and let's say Strickland wins, on
Yeah, he
my
would win.
leaderboard points for on my leaderboard points for the month, I'll get extra points for making a contrarian pick and picking correctly, right? So one of the things, as I said, we're trying to do, and I think I appreciate Tradeify sharing this, right? Like, how do we rethink some elements of the space so that we're doing things a little bit differently? And when it comes to predictive gaming, we want to add some different and new elements. So that's kind of what you'll see with the stars. The stars are who the favorites are for people who have made their predictions already. And so that's something that will be incorporated and play a role once we get our subscriptions up and running. So why don't we start and make our predictions, right? So maybe Ganja, we'll start with you, and we'll start with our one of our two kind of like championship belt fights for this card. And of course, this is taking place in Sydney, Australia, right? We went from Riyadh last week for fight night to Sydney, Australia, doing a world tour. Two belts at stake, right? We've got Duplessis versus Strickland. The second time these two have met, the first time, right, was a split decision. That was a crazy fight for those of you who watched that. And then we've got Weili versus Suarez, right? And so that is the women's strawweight title. So why don't we start with Duplessis versus Strickland? Ganja, we'll turn it over to you for your thoughts and who you're going with.
Yeah, like you said, that first fight, I believe it was just over a year ago. It was really close. I thought that Strickland won that fight. A lot of people, Dana White himself, said that Strickland won the fight after. A lot of people were definitely saying Strickland won, but a lot of people were also saying Duplessis won. You know what? Me personally, like I said, I thought Strickland won, and I think Strickland is going to win this one again. Not again, win this one again, but I think once again that Strickland is going to win. I think that Duplessis, his striking is very awkward, and he seemed like he was much stronger when they grappled, when they clinched up. I think Strickland's going to be a little more prepared for that, and I don't want to count out Duplessis. I think this is going to be a really good fight. I think this is going to go all 5 rounds. I think it's going to go a decision as well. Duplessis obviously improved as well. We saw when he beat Adesanya, like he's definitely got good grappling, and he's got what it takes. Let's just put it that way, right? To be a champion. But he's definitely been improving as well, and I don't want to count him out. I think this is going to be another close fight. Like I said, I think this is going to go all 5 rounds. I'm going with Strickland, though.
All right, Ganja. Thank you. All right, Doug, how about you?
You know, I agree. I think Duplessis is going to put on a hell of a fight, and it's going to go the distance. I can't imagine it going any other way unless it somehow is a ground and pound and Strickland maybe gets overtaken. But I still think, you know, Strickland's worked on that enough in the last year since, what was it, 290, UFC 297. So yeah, it's been a minute. There's been a lot of cards on the fight. He's had time to watch Duplessis fight against other people and also just train himself up. And I think he really wants that belt back. You know, anyone who's going in after losing a belt, especially in such a close decision, to where he feels like he should have won already, I think he's got that chip on his shoulder, and we're going to see him take the W at the end of the day. So I'm going for Strickland all the way. And the dude's just such a character. And like you're saying, when he fights, he has such a calm demeanor. And like, if he wasn't such a wild card of a personality, because the dude is crazy, I think he'd be like a great kind of person to make like a Hollywood debut and like some type of transition into these things after his fighting career. But dude's crazy. So I'm rooting for Strickland all the way, 100%.
Love it. Love the conviction. All right. Awesome. Our friend, the Tradeify Viking. Let's go, buddy. What's your pick?
I actually went with Duplessis. As much as I like Strickland, watching Duplessis and the record, he's a strong fighter, and Strickland he's been around for a moment. So, I feel like Duplessis has a lot that he wants to prove as well. I think everyone is always looking from the Strickland side of stuff. Strickland doesn't have a lot to prove. Don't get me wrong. I think both of them do. But I think in terms of like making a name for himself, Duplessis is also, he really needs to, up it to the next level to get people really excited for that card. So I'll always go, I usually always go for underdogs or like decisions that are maybe not with the grain, but in this particular situation, I had to go with Duplessis just because I like what I watch when I see him fight. So it is what it is.
All right. Love it. Love it. Love the Duplessis connection. And Matt, how about you, bro?
I'm going with Strickland.
Right. I know. I shouldn't have even asked. Right. You were so clear about it before. Matt loves
Yeah.
Strickland. I love the USA love too. But here's the thing. I am not going with Strickland. I'm almost always like a patriotic supporter, right? Even when I know that it's not the greatest pick, I am going with the chalk on this one, and it's not significant. I mean, like Anja was saying, that fight a little over a year ago was actually just like as the judges saw it, really pretty split publicly, right? And you had Strickland, who was landing significant solid jabs, right? And really keeping Duplessis kind of not only kind of like on the defensive, but also his ability to read those punches and kicks, right? Strickland's is fantastic, right? And so it was a really challenging fight to watch, and then also result to end up with. My thing though is, and I really feel this way. I think Duplessis is a little bit more of a versatile fighter. I think that his ability to connect at distance and then also grapple effectively is much better than Strickland's, in my opinion. Right? I think Strickland from the distance side, right? I mean, if he can keep Duplessis at distance, I think that there's significant chance for Strickland to take the win. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think Duplessis will end up coming out on top. I think this will go the distance. I think it will be another fight that is based on decision. I'm thinking this one is going to be unanimous, though, in Duplessis' favor. I'll also tell you, we're really fortunate. We have a fair number. I know it hurts for me to say, bro.
Boo, Fred,
I'm putting my pick behind the South African fighter, right? Instead of the dude from the US. But we have we're so fortunate. We connect
USA.
with USA. We connect with a fair number of athletes and people who are connected to the sport, and we have a journalist who writes on MMA who always gives us like his tidbits ahead of the fight too, right? I will tell you that he believes, right, that Duplessis will win. He's actually even more bullish than I am. He's seeing a late round KO from Duplessis, which to me, I was not initially leaning that way. This guy does know his stuff, right? Mugi is a really good, I mean, he just knows the MMA space. So that's where he's putting his pick, right? So I'm going to hop into the DAP. I'm going to make my mark for Duplessis, right? So there you go. We've got it in purple, right? our Spredict colors, and we're going to move on to the
Not
women's
working.
strawweight title, right? So, Weili Zhang, Tatiana Suarez, right? I know we were talking a little bit about our love for Suarez, the wrestler. I'd love to hear who you're leaning towards. Ganja, we'll circle back to you, my friend.
I want to go back for 1 second to the
Yeah, yeah,
last
do
fight.
it. Do it.
When you said something, it reminded me, dude, that cut that Strickland got, I think was it
Oh,
the third or fourth
oh
round?
my God, it was crazy.
It changes approach to striking, right? So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that without the cut he might have won. We'll
It's
see.
true.
We'll see what's gonna happen tonight though.
I
That's all I want to add in there.
I
But
agree.
Zhang is a great fighter and utmost respect to her. I do think that Suarez is gonna bulldoze her though. I think that Suarez is going to take to the ground and it's either going to be a submission or ground and pound. I'm going to say first round, max second round. Suarez grappling is just on another level from Zhang. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but there's definitely levels to this shit. Like I said, I'm a black belt and I know when I'm outclassed by other black belts, right? There's levels to this shit. And I think that Suarez is gonna show Zhang that there's another level that she needs to get to on the ground.
You're muted, Fred. You're muted.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, Ganja, thank you for that. All right, Doug, on to you.
You know, I've seen Whaley get in some dog fights and come out on top. But at the end of the day, I don't think this dog's gonna have the bigger bite. And like Ganja was saying, Suarez is just she's beast mode, dude. She goes crazy and she knows what she's doing. And I think it's just her time. And I think that belt's gonna be hers by the end of the night. And I agree, it's not gonna last too long. I can't imagine it going past the second. So yeah, that's just what it is. I'm double backing the Americans tonight for both on the card.
Let's
We
go.
rocking.
And yo, I'm in the 51st state. Let's go, America.
Here we go. Love it. All right, Viking, let's go, bro.
Well, you know what? I'm actually gonna go with the American as well. I also have a lot of experience with MMA stuff. I actually trained for MMA for over 6 years, and
Oh
when
my
I
God.
see, yeah, I know. I did, I kept it quiet. I didn't want to say anything. I was working towards lightweight division stuff, and I backed out after a car accident. So I had to, it's the nature of the beast. If you get a really serious injury, you don't want to be crippled for life. So my experience with MMA in general tells me Suarez is gonna literally dominate. Watching Zhang, great fighter, literally nothing against her, but Suarez, like everyone else has said, same sentiment in a class of her own completely. And her skill set is gonna, once it gets to the ground, it's over. It's basically over.
So, bro, did you know that Ganja is like a trained fighter too? So, what we might do, I don't know, maybe we'll put together a pool with the two of you like fighting each other, and well, it'd be amazing. But I love it. I love So Max is not on, our CEO, but Max was a an amateur fighter too. I mean, so this is awesome. We could create our own like crypto fight club, like of legit project leads and fighters. That's awesome.
First rule of that is you don't talk about the Crypto Fight Club.
Love it, love it. All right, Matt, what's up? Your pick.
I'm going like final boss you against all odds. I will go with Zhang because karate vibe and all like the ninja stuff. I'm going there. I just my pick. I've already validated everything, so I cannot move it again. But yeah, I'm going with the ninja vibe. It's I don't know.
Wow, wow. So I
To be honest, I do not have any culture of UFC. I know
That's fine.
Strickland, I know John Jones, and what's the name? Like the guy with all the colors hairs. and that's all. Like I do not even know his name, so I'm very, very, yeah, without culture for the UFC. But like I'm going with my guts, here.
Yeah, no, I love it's a gutsy pick, and I mean, she's a fantastic fighter, right? So certainly, and I want to
Oh, she's
say
a
that
she. Sorry.
the money line is even, right? I don't think there's a sizable line
That
for her.
surprises me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Now, it may have changed. I think when I looked yesterday as I was putting the final bits of my notes together, Vegas was kind of like a pick 'em. So I I think I think Vegas sees it as a pretty evenly spaced fight. I mean, I will say that I expect there to be a significant amount of grappling. I think that's what both of them have shown to be their most significant strengths in bouts that they've won before. I do feel like in this case, I feel Suarez is a level above, and I would be very, very surprised if it did not go to Suarez by a submission at some point during the bout. Um, I'm not I'm not convinced that either fighter will win by anything other than submission. I think they're both submission machines, but I just feel like I feel this is more chalky for Suarez than the Vegas line would show. So, Matt, this is your opportunity, bro, where if it goes in the other direction, you can celebrate, man, because we're all aligned on Suarez except for you. And so
Yes.
this is your chance to prove us all wrong, right? And make sure
To
that
outperform you every. Yeah, exactly.
awesome. All right.
I will
So
outperform you guys. You do not know me.
I believe it. Stranger things have happened, right? I was not expecting the big boys last week, Pavlovich, right? I was not expecting that fight to go as long as it did. That was like crazy to me. So stranger things have happened. So we are up to the big boy battle, right? So here we are. We've got Justin Taffa, Taliesin Teixeira, right, who are now fighting in the heavyweights. The heavyweights are always crazy because I always make assumptions that it's going to be like a one-punch end, and then I'm surprised when that doesn't happen. So, Ganja, who is your pick? Are you going with the Aussie, who or you going with the Brazilian bad man, to come back? What's your pick?
Well, like you said, dude, anytime it's a heavyweight fight, I'm expecting fireworks. And I'm not expecting a long fireworks show, but an explosive, extremely entertaining, short fireworks show. I'm expecting a knockout. I'm going to go with the Brazilian because I have to go with the Brazilian. I'm morally obligated to go with the Brazilian. No, I'm just joking. No, I do think Texier is gonna knock out. um, I think Texter is going to win by knockout. Sorry, but it is going to be a short fight. I don't see this going past a round. And like you said with the heavyweight fight last week, extremely surprised if it does go further than a round, dude. They usually lose gas after a round, anyways.
Yeah, you don't expect it to last more than a few minutes because I mean these guys they're big. I mean they're just big, so you expect their endurance to run down. So awesome. All right, Doug, over to you, bud.
These two are probably the two on the card that I know the least about, or that I've seen the least in rings from my watching experience. So I probably can't give the best educated guess, but my heart was just leaning towards the Brazilian as well. Like when I see that matchup and the two of them standing side by side, I'm just like something about the dude looks like he's gonna take it. And I watched a couple clips of their fights in the past before I hopped on, and dude swings heavy. I mean, of course they do. They're heavyweights, and I think it's just gonna be a battle of blows until one goes down, and that's gonna be it. And I think the Brazilian's gonna take it on this one.
Love it. Love it. All right, Viking, over to you, bro.
I have to go with TX Sierra as well. It's just, if you look at the actual like stats first and foremost, TX Sierra is showing an impressive outing. 7-0. That's good. That's actually really good versus a 7-4. But even more impressive is TX Sierra's reach. Honestly, you cannot undervalue reach when it comes to fighting. Anyone who has such a significant reach advantage too. It's not like a small amount; it's a really large amount of reach advantage. You have to go with it because, especially in the heavyweight division as well, that reach is going to equate to punches that can reach much further. So, and the explosiveness, I have to give it to TX Sierra.
100%, 100%. All right, Matt, over to you.
Texiera, because capoeira, Texiera, all the vibe, and they're moving, dancing. Yeah, I don't know shit, bro. It's just like I'm just vibing here. It's it's like yeah, just but by the name, I do not know if they have like a nice results before. No, I don't know, but yeah, Texiera.
Yeah, yeah. So first, I appreciate that because I want to just tell you a quick story, right? So in the U.S., right, besides like Super Bowl bets, and oh, before we sign off, we'll have to get everyone's pick. I know that we have a Ganjas already, but besides like betting on the Super Bowl, another big thing is like March Madness, right? So the college basketball, right? And so the funniest story I have is my wife and I were both participating in a March Madness pool, right? And so I was like picking based on the teams. She was picking on mascots, right? And that year she won the entire pool, right? Just by going with the mascots she liked. So I'm just saying, Matt, to you, like just vibing and making picks, you have probably as good a chance as any of us who are trying to do any type of fucking analysis. So
Dude, we have
thank you.
something like that in my group of friends for meme coins.
Nice.
One of my friends, we call it the giggle meter. One of my friends will run it by his girlfriend, and if it passes the giggle meter, we should buy it. And if it doesn't, then we probably shouldn't buy it. But like she's right most of the time. So like I don't know.
I love it.
Sometimes if you know what, we're overthinking. If you're really into something, you're really into MMA, you're really into crypto, sometimes you overthink it and then the
Right.
normie approach is what works,
That's
right?
right. Yeah, yeah. I think that's so true, right? And so I appreciate that, Matt. Thank you. I'm going with TX Era too. So 7-0 is impressive, right? And Tafa's record is solid too, right? Both of these guys are KOing in all of the fights they win. I just feel like if you're running 7-0, there's a reason for that. And I also want to go back to what our Viking friend said. Um, I, in in MMA, I feel like there's a lot that can be an advantage for you. But if you have like 6 or 7 inches of reach over your opponent, I it's not a guarantee, but I just feel like that means something, right? I mean, that's not 1 inch or 2 inches. The difference between these guys, I think, is 6 or 7 inches. So it is sizable, right? And so not only do they both throw hard punches, but TXera is entering the fight with half a foot of additional reach, right? So I just feel like that's going to make a difference. I do agree. I see this as a KO. I think it's over within that first or second round. Our buddy Moogie, who is who has that background, he agrees it's a KO as well, but he's leaning towards Justin Taffa. So I don't know. We'll see. I think we'll probably be correct that it does end quite soon, right? But
Texiera.
for me, Texera for me, right? To me, that's where it is. And again, on this one, Vegas is also pretty close to even. It was not a sizable difference. And so our last
And
fight,
Fred,
yeah,
I just
hop
wanted
in.
to bump on something you said that's regarding inches matter. Yeah, I
Yeah.
cannot be so. Yeah, but yeah, that's all. That's all. That's all for
Oh,
me.
bro, of course. Thank you for making that clear. All right. So our last fight, the last fight of the card. This one is interesting, right? Not only is this another Aussie versus Brazilian, but we've also got a Jimmy the Brute, right, who is back after like a not quite retirement, right? So, yeah, where do you stand, Ganja? What's your thinking as he goes up against Bellato?
Well, yeah, you said he's coming off of like a fake pump of a retirement. Um, we don't know where his head's at, and this fight is definitely going to be a test for him. I want to pick him. I'm going to go with him as my pick. But yeah, I really we don't know where his head is at. We haven't seen him fight in how long, and
2 years, I think, right?
yeah, his opponent's no joke. Uh, the only thing I feel like his opponent has a little bit suspect with his guard and his defense is his hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And but yeah, I want to go with him, but yeah, like I said, dude, it's kind of tough to see. You can't. I don't know. It's not like in baseball you can go down to the minor leagues and play a game and come back. There's nothing like that for UFC for people that
Yeah.
are coming back, right? So we don't know where he's really at, but I'm gonna go with him. I'm gonna go with him.
All right. I love that. I love the pick for the returning fighter. Doug, how about you?
Yeah, this is probably one that's the least clear in my mind of who can take it or will take. I think it's gonna be an interesting bout, especially since, like you're saying, Kurt hasn't been in the ring since 2023, and after losing three of his last four fights, and then Bellato, whereas he just had his debut and took it in the second round and really performed well. But it's also like how much history we don't have an extensive amount of history on Bellato and his fighting experience in like the big ring. So it's like, is the guy coming back gonna take it, or is the guy who's really kind of starting out gonna keep showing up and showing out? And I'm torn up between the two, and at that point, it's just like, who do I think has more of that dog in him? And I think I'm gonna go for Bellato on this one. I'm gonna go that way. I'm gonna see how he does, but I think he can, maybe make that retirement permanent for Crute.
Nice, nice. All right, Viking.
I actually went with Groot. I think that, I think Ganja's right in the concern for the lack of time he's been in recently. 2 years is a long time out. But when you actually look at like the time in ring and the experience, you have to weigh that as actual value. And Bellator coming in hot is always really good, but when you have coming in hot versus like, you know, sturdy experience, I almost always have to lean towards sturdy experience just because those nerves will get to Bellato. That's where I'm actually figuring more than anything. Bellato has a lot to prove right now to prove that he's coming in hot, and Crute just needs to make a comeback. And that, in terms of nerves, that's a bit easier to do.
Yeah, sure.
Realistically.
Love the thinking there. Matt?
I'm going with Bellato because he's like from Bosnia, so no, Bosnia Herzegovina. I don't know how to call it in America in English, but like yeah, ex-URSS vibe, like big fighter and yeah, just the eastern route. So for me, it's Bellato.
So thank you. Yeah. So this one was an interesting one for me. It was probably the one where I took the most time to think about, which was really kind of interesting. I'll tell you that our buddy Moogie takes Crute with a win by decision, right? And so I I'm not leaning in that direction. I actually went with Bellato. Here's my thing. I think that when fighters take time off like that, I think it can also mess with their minds a little bit. I think that it's hard to get back into any sport, right? But fighting, right, where you're constantly worried and thinking about injury, right? And I mean, I also recognize that so much of what's said during interviews and press conferences is to try and get in the head of the other fighter, right? You're saying some of this strategically, right? But listening to Crute too, um, I just don't know. I don't know if his head's back in it, to be honest, right? And what I like about Bellato is that he is man, can that guy punch, right? And so I I'm actually taking a real risk by saying this, but I think there's the potential for a KO here and for Bellato to actually take a sizable win and continue on his pathway to like being a super well known fighter, right? And so that's not a disrespect for Crute. It's just it's hard for me to feel like someone coming back from a purposeful leave really can get their head back in it. So let me get my pick in. I'm gonna lock in my predictions, so they are locked and set. Gonna approve and get my picks made. Uh, Damn. So here we are, right? Picks made. I've got everything written down. We can. Oh no, it said error. I wonder what happened. Let me try one more time, and I'll have to try and.
The same thing happened to me, but it still registered my picks. So I'm
Oh,
not
did
sure
it?
if it's
Okay.
just, yeah, yeah.
Weird. All right. So I have to take a look into that. But thank you all for placing your picks and getting them in. So this has been awesome. You all have like given us over like an hour of your time, and we're super thankful for that. What we'll do like a quick wraparound. Just for anything you want to add on behalf of your projects or things you're thinking about, and we'll also take you out with making your Super Bowl pick. And so, Ganja, I know you were like, "There's no way I'm picking Eagles. I don't want another recession, right?" And I'm going all Chiefs. But we'll turn over to you, Ganja, for anything on your mind on behalf of Wolf Swap. Anything you want to share as we wrap up.
Yeah, yeah. Just to reiterate what I said earlier, every time the Eagles have won, we've had a recession. So I'm not rooting for a recession. That's all I'm gonna say is I'm not rooting for a recession. But we'll swap. Yeah. Like I said, we're aggregated decks, and we gamify it, and you have a chance at winning prizes just by swapping. But you don't got to take my word for it. Come into the Discord, and in the Discord we have lots of game nights, and we got airdrops. We got ways to earn Moon token without even spending any money. And there's lots of cool people and lots of fun to be had. So that's the only thing I'm gonna say as what I'm leaving you guys with is come check us out in the Discord. And this was really fun. Thank you very much for having me.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. Thank you, Ganja. Doug, over to you. Your Super Bowl pick and parting words that you've got.
You know, as much as I would hate to see a recession, it's fly Eagles fly to this weekend, baby. I'm rooting for him big time. My best boy has been a diehard Eagles fan, and I've been watching games with him for the last decade now. And I was gonna go over and meet him again, like I watched the playoffs with him, but I got this new dog, so I don't want to leave him here and get eaten by our other bigger, newer dog. So I'm gonna stay here and watch him here at home, but I'm gonna be rooting all the way. I cannot stand to see the Chiefs win again. I cannot, especially after how Kelsey lost it fucking last like 2 games ago. So it's just I need to see them Eagles take it home this time, dude. It would be great. It would feel good. I can celebrate the win with my boy when I see him next time, and I want that future for us. So I'm going for that. And Saquon Barkley's crazy. Saquon Barkley's so crazy. So like we'll see what happens. And as long as our snappers are fully healed, because they were both on the playoffs, they were both fucking coming on and off the field with
Yep.
injuries and shit. But they made it work. They got it done. I think our defense will take it. But yeah, Rui, if you haven't heard of us, please look into us. We're more than happy to get people onboarded into the experience that we're going to be creating for people and building out the IP and brand. There's a lot of things on the way, and the team's been holding back a lot of things too in terms of animation showcasing and collection sneak peeks, just because we really want to have those be experiences. We have two short films in development, and along with our Web 2 game that's going to be releasing shortly after launch too. So if you're excited about these types of things, if you enjoy the art, if you enjoy community, if you like physical merch based on great animations and characters, and you want to learn more about our core group of characters, we're going to be releasing information on them because we've only kind of showcased our main star of the show, Bob. So I would love to see more faces in the chat. We've got 38,000 plus people there, but it can never hurt to have 38,001. So come in, plug in. We'll be happy to see you.
Love it. Thank you, Doug. All right,
Thanks
Viking.
for having
You,
me too. Appreciate
yeah,
you.
you bet. You and Tradeify.
I actually have to jump in on Royui. I haven't done that yet. I've been literally following. There's so many projects that have like messaged me, and I've been having to like navigate everything. I got to be honest with you, it's really hard. Like I haven't earned whitelists for any of the projects, like any of
Same.
them. No Final Bossu, no Kabu, nothing. Literally not even Bearish. It is what it is when you're always building. You just don't have time, so it is. That's fine. Um, in terms of like Super Bowl picks, you know what? I'm gonna say correlation is not equal causation, and so I have to say Eagles will take it. And
He's flying. There he
I-
goes.
yeah, there he goes. In terms of Tradeify, I mean, I think I pretty much covered everything. We got the announcement that we're going to be doing sometime coming Monday or Tuesday. So keep your eyes out on our Discord and on our X announcement page, I guess you could say, just the posts and the stuff that we have from that. And more importantly than that, be prepared because we're coming in hot for abstract. We are coming in hot to help change Web3 for the better, change NFTs for the better, empower a lot of project creators to do things that they've never been able to do, especially new projects. And I'm really excited that we have our mint coming up on Thursday on Magic Eden, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So there's still, I believe, a chance over this weekend for you guys to get yourselves whitelists if you don't have them.
Nice.
You just have to pick up a tadpole. Tads are our 404 community. So we have the Froggy Friends and then the tadpoles. Tadpoles, cheap way to get a whitelist. It's like, I don't know, $10, $20, something like that right now. And you can get yourself your whitelist and you have a cool 404 that's going to have, long-term ecosystem benefits, not necessarily just on Tradeify, but in everything that Fonzie's been building. So
Awesome. Thanks, man. All right, Matt, over to you. I know that this type of football isn't your favorite type of football, but would if you had to make a pick, who would
No.
it be? And then what's up for you for TNFT or any final words you got?
Yeah, so I've played some Madden NFL like back in the days, and I loved like the jersey of the Eagles because it was all gold, if I remember right. So I will go with Eagles because the Chief I do not know them at all. So yeah, I will go with Eagles. It's just like yeah, back in the days I love their jersey. So yeah. Regarding TNFT, hosting live stream on every Thursday with different project. We already had TradeFi, Wall Swap last week. Rui, I know that we'll have Queen, Voxel Queen on the 20th with Final Bozu, so that will be a huge one. It will be a nice one. And yeah, just stay tuned for NFT Paris because next week we're heading there with the Spredict team. And yeah, we will. I will find a way of streaming direct live from NFT Paris. So
I'm sure you
I will
will.
bring.
I have no doubt.
Yeah, yeah, I will find a way there. But like anyway, if it's not live in the event, I will stream with like some founders that I will found there on the evening in a bar or just in a in a restaurant. So I don't know. I have plans in my head, but it's complicated to make them all come true, you know. But yeah, anyway, the NFT will work ahead with Predict. Of course, I will always support and be here with Predict since I'm fully on the project. So yeah, we have like some nice stuff going on. We have some nice partnerships that will arrive in yeah, as soon as the F1 will be live. Technically, if everything line up and as the planet will line up, I think in a week or so, or maybe end of February, we should have everything line up for the Formula One. If I can leak some alpha, we are in discussion with Alpine, Michelin, and McLaren. So yeah, that's
Fingers
pretty dope.
crossed, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So to add, we are extremely excited to get our F1 season up and running again, right? And so to have multiple sports available for predictors to play, getting our second series of games available, and then expanding to other sports and non-sports related prediction pools, right? So we're really looking forward to that. And then, as Matt shared, after NFT Paris, to really dive into getting ourselves set for our token launch, which is going to be great. And so appreciate all of you joining and being here with us today. So for me, I've learned the hard way from sportsbook betting, right, and being a big football sportsbook guy, right, that I never bet against the Chiefs. Right? I will never take them to cover a spread, but I will never bet against them to win, right? So I am betting against them in any spread that's more than like 2 points at this point because they continue to show that they enjoy making it as close as possible for anybody who does bet on them. But I know better than to bet against them to do anything but win on the money line. So my pick is with the Chiefs. I fully expect it to be like a 1, 2, or 3 point game, right? And I would not be surprised just because it would be so fucking random if it was like a 38-35 game again, like 2 years ago, right? And we have this crazy repeat of 2 years ago. And I'm sorry, I know, yo, I listen. I went to Penn State, right? So I love Saquon Barkley. He's a stud. He is finally on a team that can use him with the skills he brings, right? Unlike the Giants. And again, I'm a New Yorker, right? So it pains me to say this, right? But he was not on the right team when he played for the Giants. So, but I do see the Chiefs winning. I hope that my Super Bowl boxes come through and I make some nice small money on those as well. But yeah, I want to thank the four of you for joining. Hope you enjoyed the conversation and then also playing around and making some predictions. And I'm looking forward to circling back tomorrow and celebrating my win for making the best picks.
Fred,
On the
you know
credit.
what happened if you're wrong, you know it. I will clip it and I will post it on Twitter too.
And that's fine. And then I'll delete my Twitter account, and it'll be all good.
Yeah,
But
I don't think
honestly,
any of us all had the same 4 picks. I'm pretty sure everyone was at least different in
yeah, there
one
was a
realm or the
variation.
other.
So somebody is
Yeah.
actually going to win, right? And that's fantastic too, right? So you'll get a little bit of bragging rights as well. So thank you all. Thank you for giving your time. Awesome. You were great to chat with, and wish you a great rest of the
Just
weekend. And we'll
ju-
see you soon.
just one thing.
Oh yeah,
Just one
Matt,
thing for living, guys.
you got it.
Yeah, just for like a live feedback, how did you find your experience of predicting on the Spredict app? Everyone, was it like smooth? Did you find it nice, smooth, and very intuitive, or it was like sketchy?
Using the actual
Eh,
app.
It's a hot take, guys. Yeah, yeah.
So I'll tell you straight up, I cannot participate in sports betting, like actually participate in sports betting. So
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't use the app, but I'm more than willing to give predictions and stuff.
So,
Yeah, for Doug and
yeah.
Stevie.
The app worked great on my end here, so yeah, I think it's still on the testnet side of Abstract, but it went flying for me, so I enjoyed it, and the wallet connectivity was great too.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Honestly,
Awesome.
the UI is clean. It's really clean. You've nailed it from that side. I mean, I had that one little error when I was trying to register the pick. And outside of that, though, there's really nothing else that I can say. I I don't normally do sports betting just because, I'm pretty picky on where I put my bets. I like betting on crypto more than anything. But
Awesome.
but I do appreciate the ability to have such a smooth experience with sports betting. So I will definitely be using this whenever I decide I want to, play with the UFC picks because I do like
Let's
playing with those
go.
cards. So
I love it. I love it. Thank you, guys. And
Awesome.
thanks. Yeah,
Thank you guys for the
we're always
feedback.
open for feedback. Love it, guys. All right. Well, friends, thank you. Thanks for giving your time. Loved having you. Looking forward to continuing to connect and support each other. Thanks for making the space as great as it is. And we'll see you soon. Later on.
Cheers.
Peace.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.